don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Don't make people feel like you have to like live a less life because everybody else is doing it.
Right.
Because I've heard people say that to me, and like it irritates me. But also, they just
don't get it.
no, they don't.
It's the same people who have that conversation when it comes to
Like, how are they going to
entrepreneurship.
function in the real world? It's like they're
What the
going to
what?
run the real
Like,
world.
what? Right.
They're
Your kids will work for my kids. We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We spend so much of our lives inside, either in traffic at work or close eyes. How about we all agree that it's way overdue to take back our lives? I can work wherever.
Starting.
Yeah, we've started already.
Okay.
This is gonna be a reel, probably.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome into the Work Wherever podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about AI, automation, the ability to work wherever so you can live every day like it is Saturday. And I have my wife here with me.
Hey.
Halie. So that means it is a homegrown episode. We haven't done one of these in a while. We got 4 flavors of the podcast. So we have the Roy's Rants. That's me putting on my tinfoil hat, doing tinfoil things, talking about tinfoil topics. And then we have, man, I don't even know the other topics. We have the full length with the interviews and the thing with the thing. This is the full length. Then we have the hotspot. That's what they're called. Internet hotspot. That's where we go over news article, trending news articles. We bring it out. We're going to do this a little bit more frequently. We might do them every day. I saw a thing where they do it every day because the news changes so frequently, you know. Might do that. Trying to figure that one out. But we do them once a week for right now. And then we have homegrown, which is with you. My wife.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my favorites.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Gosh. So today, what are we talking about?
Just the flexibility with homeschooling and traveling and getting to enjoy life together.
Yeah, so it is December, and
we're in the Christmas season.
We're on the Christmas season, which it's not like irregular or weird for families who don't homeschool to travel and vacation at this time. I feel like everybody's traveling on the vacation this time, but we were able to.
Not quite yet. I feel like everybody's still in school.
That's true. At least the schools near us don't get out for another week. So this first week, what is it? The first week in December?
The
second week in December. We went to Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
With like 5 other families. So we'd been to Great Wolf Lodge before. We actually went. It was in January last time, I think we went. Right? February. So we got it for
February 2020.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was right before James was born.
Right before. That's right. You were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
It was right before COVID.
Yeah.
And I feel like there wasn't many people there the first time we went. Yeah. Less people than when we went this past time.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And February is when we went, and we got it as a Christmas gift. And it was pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we looked into going back because we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, let's go back. And so we looked into.
Now we're a family of 6, mind you.
And we were like, it was a little pricier than we were.
It's not Disney World, so.
But we might tell our kids it is.
We might tell that. We were with a family. We were with a family at Great Wolf Lodge. And we're sitting there talking with the dads, and the dad was like, yeah, this is great, man. I'm gonna tell my kids it's Disney World. I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. Because they have like the characters and stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a really good job, which we took a lot of video, and which my kids grabbed the GoPro when the wave pool, went down the slides, went bowling. What else I got? Laser tag.
Mm-hmm.
And then Santa was there, if you care about that sort of thing. And then there was like bubble snow.
Well, and the kids, there's this whole like overarching quest that's going on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Throughout the hallways.
How did I miss that one?
Yeah. So on each floor, there's, like, this magi quest where the kids are, like, using these wands. What are they called? RFID reader wands, and it saves to their wands, so they're just throughout the time that they're there or throughout different trips, they're working on this quest, and they're having so much fun. So we spent, like, no time in the room, or at least the kids didn't, because they were all just running around together
really didn't
the
spend
whole
much time.
time.
I worked a little bit, so I did
Right.
work from the room, but other than that, we didn't spend much time in the room.
Mm-mm.
And then we got one of those, the cabana. The cabana is the way to go.
Yes.
This was our first time doing the cabana.
Yeah.
Last time we did not do the cabana, and we just grabbed like lounge chairs and
Which
stuff like
is
that.
almost impossible.
Yeah, it's so hard. At least to grab multiple ones, and then
Yeah.
you're like shoulder to shoulder with somebody else,
And
which
you
is
need a table
fine,
because
I
if
guess.
you're eating and you're like there, if you're at the water park, you're there all day. You want to have a space. Your kids are tired. They want to lay down and take a nap.
Yeah.
You want to have a place to put your food.
Then
the
you
little
are
mini
going back to the
fridge.
room, and the room does matter at that point.
Yeah.
And then you're like back at the room, you're changed.
Yeah, it was great. We had a mini fridge. We had a fan because it's in a water park and it was so humid.
TV.
So having the fan was really nice, the overhead fan.
Yeah, the fan was great.
And like,
and we grabbed the cabana
so much better
on the edge, so we like expand out.
Yeah.
So like we opened up one side of the cabana,
like a little picnic area.
Yeah, we like laid out chairs. So there was 5 families. We had plenty of space, I feel like, in the cabana. I mean, we were in just the same amount of space as we would have.
We were like coming and going on water.
Right, people were in and out.
Yeah,
and we had the mini fridge, so we put which it came with like waters, which was cool. But we obviously had our own food there, which is clutch. You got to bring your own food. And the price.
Yeah, I would suggest don't do the breakfast. Just bring food.
Yeah. The breakfast itself. We did the breakfast did we do the breakfast last time?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not a big breakfast family.
Right.
So it's like a breakfast buffet. It's like not good. You feel like you want to take a nap afterwards. So we learned from last time. We didn't get the breakfast buffet this time. We just brought like granola bars and fruit and like, I don't know, soup and stuff. We just ate in the room.
And they do have a Dunkin'. So we grabbed Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. The breakfast, we definitely are not a breakfast family. And the breakfast was like, it probably wasn't, it's probably not bad, but
it's breakfast buffet. I mean, it's kind of standard across the board.
Right. It's like for the price.
Like wet eggs, bacon, sausage been sitting there under the lights. Like it's
not great.
Not really something you want to be eating.
For the money. Put it this way, the breakfast buffet is more expensive than the cabana.
Yeah.
So if you're going to choose between cabana and breakfast food,
depending on your family size,
I'd go. That's true, depending on your family size. But I would go, not even depending on your family size, because get the cabana. I mean, unless you got no kids, then what? Why are you at Great Wolf Lodge?
Yeah, regardless, just get the cabana.
Yeah, you're like, depends on the family size. You're trying to be all like nice. Nah, get the cabana instead of the breakfast. Don't get the breakfast. If you get the breakfast, you're a sucker. That's what I'm going to lay out there for next time.
Yeah.
Don't do the breakfast. If you did it, sorry. I probably had some squirts the next day. Maybe same day. You probably were not allowed in the pool that day. You were probably the guy or gal who is going through the the bathroom and they're like, if you've had diarrhea, which of course you've had diarrhea, you ate their breakfast. Of course you're gonna have diarrhea.
Well, speaking of, so we brought our au pair this time, who's from Europe. And
Speaking of, what do you mean?
It was like cultural. No. It's like culture shock because she like walked in. She's like, you don't have to take a shower before you get in here.
Right.
Like in Europe, you would
these people have diarrhea. They ate the breakfast upstairs.
Yeah. She's like, in Europe, you could never just walk into a place like this and just get into a public bathing area. Like you should have to go through like a cleansing process.
Right. All these people need to be cleaned. Yeah. They all had the buffet. Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thought about that. Where it was like I saw the sign, I was like, of course I have diarrhea. I've been eating at Great Wolf Lodge all day.
Like, ew. Oh my gosh. They have showers there, which I used afterwards before we left. We checked out, we got the cabana, we checked out, we were there all day. And so then I definitely utilized like the shower. They have the family shower. So I went in there with shower shoes on, just took a shower after a day at the water park.
That was another part that I was kind of like, I thought like twice about a little bit. Is like, so maybe the girls' room's a little different, ladies' room, But the men's room, right? So you're like at the pool, you're going on the slide, you're having fun, and I'm doing 75 hard, so I'm like drinking tons of water, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta pee. So like, I didn't have sandals.
Well, I mean, that's, I don't know. It's a
I didn't. Well, one, I didn't pack for myself. You packed for me,
yeah. I
and
know I did. I'm
fine,
sorry.
you didn't pack me sandals,
I didn't.
whatever. But like, I gotta pee, so I'm walking into the men's room with no shoes on, which is not kosher.
No.
They actually keep the bathroom pretty clean though. I was pretty impressed with Grey Wolf. But still, you're in a bathroom
Yeah.
and the urinal in the men's room,
Ugh, why are you talking about this?
the guy the guys just they pee on the wall. That's like,
Yeah.
and there just happens to be like a little thing there.
Make me feel
Yeah, I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, I'm serious.
You're not allowed in the pool.
Dude.
So that was one thing that I was like, because there's no like foot bath.
No.
You go to like a pool, like a public pool, they have foot baths.
There's no
I feel like we're making this out to be like a disgusting experience. I thought it was a great time,
Yeah.
and we even said afterwards, we were like, yeah, we definitely go back.
Right. But one of the reasons why we did get to go, right, is
Right.
because we got this really awesome homeschool discount, which leads to kind of what we wanted to talk about today,
Right.
and how when you are homeschooling, you get to do some cool experiences that you might not be able to do otherwise,
Because
for
you have the
when
flexibility.
right. So during the year while other kids are at school, like places like Great Wolf Lodge are going to likely offer discounts because they're trying to fill their rooms. And so we saved like over $1,000.
Yeah.
And got to go, and
It was
we'll
like
go back. They do this quarterly. They offer homeschool discounts quarterly. So
a third of the price.
yeah.
What was the email address that you had to get? Because it was like
Is homeschool at Great Wolf Lodge.
homeschool at Grey Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
Because it was packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
all homeschool families.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And I'm like, how do people do what? They just typed in the promo code like Wolf50 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But no, it's like some super long. Is that what you said? Like it was like,
Well, it was just like obscure. Like you wouldn't have guessed it, but I mean, I got it because I just got it through
our
our
homeschooling group.
co-op. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that.
And they're not unique to the, Grey Wolf seems to be very homeschool friendly. They had conference rooms. I worked there. So
I did too.
the cabanas all, that's right, you did too. The cabanas all had power outlets where you could plug your computer in and work there if you wanted to. I mean, we were next to the pool, so I didn't do that, but you could. I worked from the hotel room, which I did have one call drop. But other than that, I didn't run into any internet problems. And I have a USB. I don't connect to their Wi-Fi, so I have no idea what their Wi-Fi is like. I have a Verizon USB plug-in, and I got good service except for my first call. I don't know what was going on with that first call, but it did drop like 2 or 3 times. Luckily, that was them trying to sell me to something and not me on a client call per se. But overall, I thought it was fine to work there. They, like I said, they had like conference rooms and like breakout areas. It seemed pretty like business and homeschool friendly, which other places, where else were we that did something like this for homeschooling? We there was one other place that we were talking about while we were there. We were like, oh, it's like blah blah blah. That was really homeschool friendly, and now I'm blanking on it. As we sit down, we were like, yeah, let's record a podcast on that.
It'll come back to us.
Yeah, it will. But there's times of the year, so they did it throughout the year, where, like you said, there are times when they can't fill their hotel. There are times when the typical family is in school, the masses, and homeschool families with remote possibilities.
Yeah.
It's just like
just take over and
here's
just
a kid,
reign.
Just a Jew on Christmas over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. This one was, I was surprised at how many people were there, but there was, I mean, we knew like 30 people.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. So those things exist. So if you guys do homeschool, that's just like an added perk. Obviously,
it's something you'll quickly realize if you're homeschooling.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like I'm bracing myself because we're coming up on winter break. And so I'm like, let's do everything we want to do now because in a week we're going to be having to
all
deal
the
with
normies get out and ruin everything.
well, we have to deal with all the crowds and everything, and so it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, just like bracing yourselves because the rest of the year it's like we just kind of live.
I know. I've been
So
like,
fun.
I usually, so like a
And wait, one other thing I wanted to say is like,
mhm.
I mean, like, they say what you want about like homeschooling and everything. I've heard like some people will say like, oh, it's not like the real world, but like the reality is like, I don't want to live in the real world. Like, we want, as business owners and entrepreneurs, like
Yeah, what does it
we
mean,
have
real
like
world?
right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But as entrepreneurs, like we don't want to just be like
That's the whole
the
point.
the working class.
Right.
Like, okay, so what? You've created this own life for yourself so that you can go out and live above the real world.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, like don't let someone shame you into being like, "Oh, don't homeschool because like that's not reality." It's like, well, my reality looks a lot different than yours, and I
Yeah.
want my kids' reality to look a lot different than
Right.
yours. So your reality can be like Gen Pop, but like I don't want my life
I don't
like that, and you
subscribe.
should don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Don't make people feel like you have to like live a less life because everybody else is doing it.
Right.
Because I've heard people say that to me, and like it irritates me, but also I
They don't
just
get
don't.
it.
No, they don't.
It's the same people who have that conversation when it comes to
Like, how are they gonna
entrepreneurship.
function in the real world? It's like, they're
What the
gonna
what?
run the real
Like,
world.
what
Like,
right.
they
Your kids will work for my kids. We'll figure it out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your kid's getting really good at sitting at a desk for 8 hours.
Mhm. And
So my
having
kid's over here running a business.
learning how to think for themselves. Yeah.
Right. Your kid will work for mine. We'll be just fine when we enter the real world. Because
Yeah.
that's the same thing they talk about now. You know, when you entrepreneurship, you start a business. Oh, when you come back to reality, when are you gonna do the real thing? When are you gonna go, get a
If it
job
wasn't
at
for our reality, they would have no
it
reality.
doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's yeah. I I get it why some people it's convenient to go to public or private. Totally get it. I'm a public school kid, you're a public school kid. So like obviously public school kids can turn out okay. Okay.
Mhm.
That was also like 20 some years ago. The public school kids now, I mean, some of my best friends send their kids to public schools. Some of my best friends are teachers at public schools. Good for y'all.
It's a necessary
It's a
thing.
necessary evil for some people, but
Yeah.
I think is very evil. I think it's a terrible
I think
place.
it's a bad thing. I mean, you have to send your kids to be trained by the government.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Why do you want that? Why do you subscribe to
And I
that?
get if you have to utilize it, you don't have another choice. But I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably want
That's
better,
right.
right? You want more out of life, and so use it for what it is if you have to. But like, if your end game is to be better,
There's so much stuff that you can do.
yeah.
Once you clear the fog out of your eyes and you're like, well, I have to drop them off at school and then I have to go to work and then I have to,
Oh my gosh.
pay the tax man. After
You mean you pay your taxes?
after you unsubscribe from all that and you clear the fog from your eyes and you're like, hold on, like I can start a business, I can automate it, and I can implement the things that we talk about on the tech side of this podcast so that I can work wherever. Because that's the other side of this. If you own a business and you're sitting in traffic for, 2 to 4 hours a day, you're still not living the full spectrum of this, right? Because owning your business is like step one. Break away from the financial control. Because if you're a homeschool parent and like if we worked for somebody else, right? And I work for somebody else and we were a single family income and you're homeschooling the children or vice versa, and it's just one of us going, it's not the same trip to Great Wolf Lodge. And I'm taking leave and I'm having to take absence. Now, some people do that. And that certainly works for them. But that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about creating your own business and creating it in such a way where you can travel with your family and you can
creating like a life that you really love,
that
you
right that you're not
enjoy.
going to be pissed off that it's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not doesn't mean
That's the
it's
whole
gonna be
point.
like easy, smooth sailing. I mean, like we work hard so that we can do these things.
That's a great point because I think so many people. So like when we say live every day like it's Saturday, that doesn't mean that I just kick back and like don't do shit. That's not the point. The live every day like it's Saturday is I have the freedom to go do whatever it is that I
You're
want
like
that day.
excited to do your work. Like
Exactly.
it's thrilling because you're like doing something.
It's something that I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not the alternative to live every day like it's Saturday. That's entrepreneurship life. The other is live every day like it's Monday, and you just hate every second of being there.
Oh.
To me, there's no like in between. There's no like,
right.
Oh, we'll live every day like it's Wednesday.
Hump day.
Hump day. Like, it's okay, but I'm still kind of looking forward to the weekend. Like that to me, that might as well be Monday. Like, that's miserable. So for me, it's and for us, the reason why we built the business the way we did is so that we can do whatever we want. We can go work wherever we want. We can run the business. We can, have the freedom. And that goes for our employees as well. So it's not just like, oh, we're like the big bad bosses or whatever. Our employees live this way too. This is not a entrepreneur only track. It's a remote automation business built on these principles track, and then which opens up the freedoms to do these other things like homeschooling, where you can go do these things. So yeah, we encourage our employees to do that as well. But that was the Great Wolf Lodge, and it was great. It was like 5 other families. It was fun. What is this? You're making fun of me?
Mm-mm.
Yes, you are.
I just like how you said, like, it was great. Great Wolf Lodge was great. It's great.
It's great. It was great. It was great. Yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, we would definitely go back. We talked about going back.
We will go back.
That we will go back. I think every family that we went with, because how do you socialize if you're a homeschooling family, right? All 5 of the families that we were not socializing with because we're homeschool families, they were all like, yeah, oh yeah, we come here pretty regularly, or there was a few that had never been there before but said they would be back. So
yeah, planning our next
planning it already. It'll be some time when the rest of y'all who don't homeschool are sitting in some classroom someday wishing y'all were on vacation, trying to plan your vacation around everybody else.
Don't do that.
10xing your investment.
Stop.
Because that trip would have cost us, because we priced it out without the homeschooling discount.
Yeah.
The trip would have cost us like $2,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was like what, $700?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, think about that. That's crazy. And we didn't exactly like skimp. Right. It's not like we were like, because we could have done it for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. We got the cabana for 2 days.
Yeah.
We got the wolf passes so they can get their wizard wands. Which the wizardy wands things, the Magi quest, I was like, that's kind of dumb. And then you like go through the place, and they have the wands and like they're shooting at stuff.
It's like run the hotel,
and it runs it's like this game, and like everybody's playing it from like kid age like 3 to like 18.
Yeah,
they're all like Harry Pottering all over the place, and I'm like, all right, well that's kind of cool, I guess, because I was like, oh man, like this is weird, but it's not. It was like I don't know, it's like one of those, what's that psychology where it's like you get in and you're like there and it's like, okay, well I'm a part of that's what it is with Magi Quest. If it was just like right now and you're like, hey Haley, you want to play some Magi Quest, you'd be like, no thank you.
So you were into it while we were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, James, our youngest, right? He's 3.
I wasn't. I was just walking.
You weren't into it? I mean, I'm holding a wand. I'm like,
you were?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I missed out then because I didn't.
You didn't. I mean, I didn't like do the quest. Like I was. I wasn't like.
You were gone for like 2 hours one day. I
did. Okay. Well, yeah, I was doing.
Magic Quest closes at 11, so I guess we'll be back sometime around then.
It does close at 11, which kids play until 11. It's crazy. Yeah. And
he was like, my feet hurt. He was running around for like the entire day. We saw him for like maybe 20 minutes. I was just handing him bottles of water as he was running past me. I was like, here, take this.
He's like, here, eat. IV bag real quick. He lived off like energy drinks, gummy bears, and like candy. We had to force feed him.
That was a whole issue.
It was a whole thing. We had to sit him down. We're like, listen here, child. You are 13 years old. You better eat a real sandwich. I had a donut. I'm magi questing. It was like how long was the thing?
This is not.
The thing was like 16 hours. The quest that he was on. It was like, it's like, which quest do you want to do? And the lowest quest was like 4 hours. Our kids are like, I'll do the 4-hour quest. And my oldest is like, I'm doing 16 hour, and he did it in like 12. He's like,
No.
oh man. he was going so hard. For real though, we didn't see him for like, I'm telling you, we got there, gets his wand, gone. And we're like, all right, cool, he'll be back at some point. I'm doing like my walk. I'm doing my walk. I did a 45-minute walk. So I'm the crazy guy walking around the hotel, like walking up and down the stairs and stuff. See my son every once in a while. Oh, hey, what's up? He comes home, goes to sleep. He must have been up at like 5
in the morning.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he got up, bolted.
No.
What time do you think he got up?
I don't know.
9.
I feel like I woke him up.
That is not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance. But yeah, no, he had fun. they quested. But yeah, it's like it sucks you in, that game does. It's everywhere. It's in the lobby. They have a whole store, which he wasn't so into it that he wanted like the cloak. They got cloaks and stuff, right? Did you see all that?
Yeah, I did, but I mean, like, I'm trying. Like, I liked it. I didn't feel like you really needed to do like all the
breakdown.
No, I
I
mean,
just needed to mention it.
No, I just mean like if
you didn't have to really talk about the game. You just could have mentioned that
I
it was
didn't
there.
realize you were that into it. Like,
I mean, what do you mean? Like the kids just ran around the whole hotel for like 48 hours pointing wands at people.
Right.
I didn't realize it was like a thing.
What I think I liked it because I feel like we didn't have to entertain them.
That's true.
Like, it was really nice because they were having so much fun, and like it was still such a family vacation. But like they were
shoe wizard. Go become a master wizard.
They
magi.
were just running around having fun.
It was everywhere though. Like it's not one of these things where it's like they have an arcade, and the arcade is like a room where it's designated for like arcade, right? Like so they got all your typical arcade, but this thing is like sprinkled in throughout the entire hotel. So it's worth mentioning. Plus, it's a cool technology, really.
And I feel like the staff is really great.
The staff is awesome.
Very accommodating. We had a couple issues with just things that came up.
The wand broke.
And they
gave us a new one
for free. And then another one got lost, and they
replaced that one.
It.
And the coolest part about that is the wand itself. I don't know how it does. I guess there's I guess they're really connected to the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Because they have the scoreboards running, so you can see, which is on the TV in the hotel room too. So you can see where you rank as a magi, right? Which Avery was number 2 and number 1 on certain categories. Like I'm telling you, he went hard. And
I actually feel kind of bummed I didn't see it because I like looked at it and
I did see it, yeah. And so it saves your profile to some localized cloud. And then the wand broke, and so they were able to just like all right, we'll get you a new wand, take your profile. I assume they did a USB. I didn't see exactly how they did it, but they loaded up his user profile on it, and he was just able to keep playing. And then it happened again when he lost it. Same thing. All right, well, we'll turn that wand off, plug it in, you're back up and running. So that was cool. And then what was the other thing we ran into? The bear.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the bear and Build-A-Bear.
It ripped. Well, I mean,
got a hole in it.
It had a hole in it. We got it, and then we brought it back the next day, and they like just made us a new one.
And we didn't even ask for it. I mean, the thing is we didn't ask for new
I don't
things.
necessarily think that was good. I mean, so they're like, here's a new one, and it's like it just kind of shows you how much like Americans waste things. I was like, could you stitch him, please?
Well, yeah.
And like, we'll just make a new one.
She did say that it was in a place that she didn't think that she could stitch it.
My grandma could have stitched that.
Well, that's what, look. I thought it was great that she gave us a new one.
It was very. That's
Maybe
very accommodating.
maybe they took the threads out. Let's
No,
no.
no.
You think they just tossed it?
I do for sure.
Well, maybe.
I did.
Maybe, but that's our review of Great Wolf Lodge. Look out on YouTube where we're going to put together a compilation of all the videos that our kids ran around and took, because all of the kids had
so much fun.
They had a great time, and they all had the GoPro at one point. So they went down all the slides with the GoPro, wave pool. So we got them doing flips, eating food, bowling, laser tag, arcade, the Magi Quest. There's a video of our room. So you could check out our whole trip and everything we did, because it is an indoor park, and everything we did and how we were able to do it on that homeschool code. So yeah, next time, I wonder where we'll go next. We'll have to check the public school calendar to see when everybody goes back so that we can check out when we get to go places. Skip the lines. It's the best that way. Got anything else? No. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been another episode of Homegrown with Halie and the Work Wherever podcast. You can check out all of Halie's stuff, all her homeschooling stuff. You got like resources and stuff. What you got over there?
Resources, yes.
All the resources. I think that there's the state laws for homeschooling.
Yeah, definitely check out your state laws. If you're looking to start homeschooling, it's the first place that you should start. Check out what your state laws are. HSLDA, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association.org is a really great place to start.
Which you have links to all of that at homegrownwithhalie.com for all the homeschooling stuff. We got resources, printouts, all kinds of fun stuff there. And then if you go to goworkwherever.com, we'll have that launched. It'll be a little different. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, you see the personality assessment quiz that we've built there to assess your personality and where you fall on our innovation curve, to see how ready you are for automation and artificial intelligence and all the innovative talk and speak we talk about here on this show. So go check those out. Homegrownwithhalie.com. That's HALIE for Halie, homegrownwithhalie.com, and go work wherever. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And until next time, see you.
Hey there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for all the latest videos from Capital Presence.